Welcome to the Paul Macbeth Show, brought to you by the main man himself, Paul Macbeth. Oh, it's the Wintertime Open, not the Paul Macbeth Show? Are you sure? Okay. What's up, guys? JKshop here, and today we're going to be talking about the 42nd annual Wintertime Open presented by Paul Macbeth. This is the first tournament to start the disc golf season in 2020. I'm excited to talk about it. I hope you guys are excited to listen. So let's jump in right into the action. So speaking of Paul Macbeth, this is his first tournament since his injury at the USDGC. If you guys don't know, for some reason he re-injured his ankle. It was a bruise behind a tendon. He was in a boot for about 4 weeks, and he just came out of it. It's been actually less than a week since he's been out of the boot. He's been wearing this ankle brace around his ankle, of course, and it didn't really seem to hurt his performance at all. He seemed like he was playing very well. He put out some practice rounds on his YouTube channel as well as Brody Smith's. Again, he looked good. He said that it was very much pain, and I would not be able to tell that if he was in pain during his round. Now, both Paul and Adam Hamlis both predicted the winning score would be around -30. They said that would be at least a top three finish, and well, Paul Macbeth actually shot a -34, and he won by 7 strokes to beat out Adam and Philo, who tied for second with 27 down. So obviously, just right there, it looks like Paul is already out for the races. He's already putting out big numbers, and he looks like he's going for some big wins, guys. Winning by 7 strokes in his first tournament back, it seems like he didn't skip a beat. He seemed like he was doing what Paul Macbeth does, which is awesome to see. Now, Adam was 2 for 2 coming into the Wintertime Open, winning those tournaments by 6 and 4 strokes respectively. And I think Adam was coming off for a very hot start, and he was looking for his third win, and he didn't do too bad. He kind of shot a lackluster first round with a 55, and I don't think that's what he very much expected to shoot, while he bounced back with an incredible 1070 rated, shooting the hot 12 down, putting him back on the lead card, sitting 17 down, 2 strokes behind Philo, and 5 back from Paul. I think that was more of a round that he was looking for, not the 55 that he shot the first round. But to shoot actually an incredible 1070 is just amazing to see. He shot the -12, which I think was the hot round for the whole tournament out of all rounds. So that was just amazing to see Adam fight back from not the best first round, but to push back and be on that lead card for the final round. So after an overall fantastic tournament, Adam puts up a 50 and ties for second, making this the first tournament in the year that he doesn't win. However, second place is not bad by far. He's still making these top finishes, and I'm very, very excited to see Adam continue to dominate this season. I hope we see his name up on a bunch of lead cards this year. But the big question that I saw after seeing Adam play is, does your putter really taste that good? I would love to hear Adam's take on this, but for me, just as a viewer seeing this, it looks like his putters must taste phenomenal. Now, Philo also came in this tournament with some top finishes under his belt already in 2020, one in Thailand and a second place finish in another tournament. Now, Philo played a very consistent throughout the whole tournament, just trailing Paul's by a few strokes each round. It didn't put up he put up great rounds, but he didn't put up the round that would have set him over the edge. He was just kind of sitting back from Paul most of the tournament. He couldn't really gain the lead at all. He averaged 1042 golf, which again is very good, which is only 20 points above his rating. So obviously he was playing fantastic golf. He was obviously playing above what he normally does, and that was awesome to see. He is the hometown hero at this course, so maybe that could have helped a little bit, and obviously the crowd was behind him the whole time, which was, again, it was awesome to see, because Philo is such a great player. He's such a great personality, and I would love to see him succeed. Now, he put up some clutch moves, and he played his game this weekend. Very few mistakes the whole time, and that's why he shot so good. He just couldn't get it done against Paul, which not a lot of people can do, so we can't blame him there. Now, we've heard a lot of talks about the one they call Brody Smith, and he actually made a couple of appearances in the coverage. Of course, not playing, but instead watching, as we can only assume at this point his best friend, Paul, crushed the competition. So Paul Macbeth stole the show the whole tournament. Once he gained the lead, he refused to give it up the whole time. He averaged 1063 golf, and if he continues that, I don't know if anyone will be able to catch him anytime soon. He's just putting out fantastic numbers. He shot the hot round 2 out of the 3 rounds, and that is just something phenomenal. That's the reason he won by 7 strokes. So it wasn't even really close. He just continued to play his game, not worry about the rest of the competition, and just strive on just maybe a little bit of adversity with the ankle. Still, this is only second season with this crap. People might think that he's still not the Paul McBeth from Innova, but I think just this proves a little bit something. So the ankle didn't seem to bring him any problems. Like I said, he put himself in the best situations almost every shot. We didn't see him very much out of position or out of his game plan. I think the one big thing that separates Paul from the rest of the field is that he never threw 2 bad shots in a row. He always followed up a poor shot with an unbelievable recovery, as you can see with this shot on hole 3. It's just he put himself maybe in not the best position, but he always seems to find a way to put himself in an okay position to either take par or still somehow take that birdie. Now, another big factor was his consistency. If you watch the coverage, it looks like Paul throws the exact same shot every single round. It almost looks like it's again the same shot just played 3 times. He's not very much off on his lines. He's almost 20 feet off every single time. Obviously, there's a few outliers there, but it just seemed like he was putting out very similar numbers every single time and the same birdies almost every single time, which is awesome to see because that's what makes him one of the best out there. Now, looking at the FPO side of the tournament, the first thing we notice is sadly there is no coverage, and that is disappointing to see, but I'm sure majority of the tournaments from here on out will have some. Again, I just couldn't have footage. I couldn't see what was going on, especially since there was some exciting things going on in the FPO side. Like, it was quite the battle. There was no commanding lead, and up until the final day, the title was for first was up for grabs. Ohan Skugans, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, but shot the hot round the first 2 rounds, giving her a 1-stroke lead going into the finals. Jessica Weiss, however, was not giving up. She fought all the way until the end and actually ended up overtaking the first place spot and winning by 2 strokes. So congrats to Jessica Weiss for coming up big when it needed. This is her first tournament of 2020, and it was a good win, especially coming from behind to pull it out. And then Ohan did end up taking second place, beating third by 4 strokes. Kona Panis ended up taking third, and Hannah Beth taking fourth, both women who were looking to make a bigger name for themselves in 2020. They've been putting tremendous work during the offseason. I can't wait to see how these women end up performing this year. They put a lot on social media, and it's just awesome for them to see a little bit more success than they have before. Now for the best shot of the tournament, it has to go to Paul McBeth going over the tree to get the birdie that is almost impossible to get. It was said by Sias that this is not a hole that many people or people at all are birdieing, and Paul McBeth put himself in position almost every single round, and he actually got it done this time, making it a little bit of a trick shot. With every good shot, there of course needs to be a bad shot, and instead of explaining it, just watch. Sorry to see it, Lance Brown, but it gave some of us a laugh. Congrats on Paul and Jessica for ending up winning. If you guys didn't already know, I predicted them both to win on the Discin' Around podcast, so I'll just give myself a pat on the back for that one. If you guys enjoyed this tournament recap, make sure to drop a like and put it in the comment section down below, and I'll make a big recap on the major tournaments coming in the Disc Golf 2020 season. But as always, guys, make sure to keep throwing.